Hello there. Sorry, but I won't be able to look at the camera. It's a very rugged trail. Very rugged, actually. The most rugged trail in the state of Missouri runs between Tom Sauk Mountain and Johnson Shut-ins. 13-mile trail. So we're on Tom Sauk Mountain currently. This is the highest point in the state of Missouri at 1,772 feet. Yeah, I know there are much taller places in the country, but you don't have to concern yourself with altitude sickness here either. And it's a gorgeous hike and very rugged. I've been on easier hikes in the Rockies and the Sierras, that's for sure. So we're going to maybe go out 5-6 miles, pitch camp for the night. Lost the trail there for a second. Ah, it's a creek, okay. We'll pass Mina Sauk Falls, which is the tallest waterfall in the state of Missouri at 132 feet tall. It's a wet weather fall, and I'm hoping we've had enough rain recently for it to be flowing right now. It flows down in a series of ledges, and it's really pretty. And we'll pass through the Devil's Tollgate. It's a rock formation, 2 huge rocks, 8 feet apart. Now there's a story locally, I can't verify the truth of it though, that during the Civil War, the Union used this area. They had a road through here between Fort Davidson and I think Cuba, Missouri, where the railroad station was. And this road went between those 2 large rocks. Since they were only 8 feet apart, they had to dismantle their wagons to bring them through, reassemble everything, and continue their journey. And that's how it became known as the Devil's Tollgate. Whether that's true or not, I really don't know, but it's a great story. This is the stream that feeds the falls. We're fortunate, it looks like it's flowing really well today. We're currently on the Tom Sauk section of the Ozark Trail. Just to give you a heads up, if you haven't been out here on this trail, you have to cross the stream in several places. And the jumble of boulders that you're looking at, that's the trail. Okay, so earlier my tripod fell over backwards when I was filming. You saw it earlier in the video, and it really jacked up my display and my microphone. I've got the microphone working again, but the display is pretty much useless. So hopefully this video turns out okay. We're leaving Mina Sauk Falls behind right now and heading towards the Devil's Tollgate. There's a stream that will parallel after we pass the tollgate, I believe, and we'll pitch camp somewhere along that stream. I forgot to mention, we won't be close to the stream. There are a few rules here. It's not bad. You have to have a permit, and it's free, and you do it online. It's very easy, takes just a minute. And no open fires. You can use a canister stove though. And you have to be, 200 feet from water, 100 feet from the trail when you pitch camp. So we'll do all that. This would be a great place to pitch camp. Wide open, level ground, no widowmakers. Couldn't use the fire pit, but as you can see, there's the trail right there. Here's the stream next to the trail. The witch hazel is beginning to bloom. It's an early sign of spring. These flowers are quite pretty, probably another month. Here's a fine stream crossing. I'd like to film it, but I think I need my tripod for balance going across that. Looks pretty sketchy. Well, I made the stream crossing with dry feet. That's nice. Especially since we're supposed to be a little below freezing tonight. Wet feet and freezing temperatures, it's not a good combination. Still not to the Devil's Tollgate. It's not that much in distance, but the ruggedness of the trail, and of course filming the video, really makes it go slow. I'm in a bit of a quandary though. I'm running out of daylight, and I haven't found another campsite. There just are no campsites out here. So, yeah, the park does want you to be 100 feet off the trail, but they request that you camp in already existing campsites to prevent additional scarring of the land. There's dispersed camping out here. There are very few options for where you could pitch a tent, or even a hammock, really. So, if I haven't found anything by the Devil's Tollgate, I think I'm going to backtrack to that one that was just off the trail. It's really one of the better looking campsites I've ever been at anyway. Here we have it, the Devil's Tollgate. So I did find another campsite just before the Devil's Tollgate. It's right off the trail also. And it seemed fairly close to the stream, but I'm going to check it out. If it seems a good enough distance away from the water, that may be home for the night. Okay, so let me show you this campsite. We are fairly close to the stream. That would be peaceful to sleep with that sound all night. And then over here is the campsite. And what's nice is I didn't bring a chair, so I've got a place to sit. And then in the background, I'm sure it's not visible, is the trail. Probably not 100 feet either. All right, I'm going to go ahead and call it. It's home for the night. What a beautiful spot. I'm looking forward to it. Here we have home for the night. Nice and cozy. I wanted to show you the stream that's close to camp. Tonight's dinner, chili mac with beef. I've never had it before. I'm looking forward to it. It'll go good with the chilly weather we have. Okay, so while dinner rehydrates, I want to take a minute and talk about gear. Every piece of gear I've got with me tonight, except for my clothing, is brand new. It's my first time to use all of it. Tent, sleep system, pack, the whole 9 yards. It's about 5 years ago. I was working with a young guy, a college student, and he'd never been hiking. And so we started hiking together. I was gearing up for an ultralight trip, which this is not. Thinking about a through hike of the AT at that time. And anyway, he enjoyed hiking so much. We hiked here, we hiked all over the place, that you know, couldn't afford any equipment, and he was about to go with his girlfriend down to Puerto Rico and hike for a couple of weeks down there, backpack for a couple of weeks in Puerto Rico, visit her family, that type of thing. So I gave him all of my gear. Well, I really couldn't financially afford that through hike at that time anyway, so it made sense, and it really helped a guy out, you know, a friend of mine. But I haven't done a backpacking trip, an overnight trip, in the last 5 years. So I thought, I need to, you know, I need to get back into it again. My kids are grown, I've got grandkids, and I've got the time, so let's do it. And I'm making these videos, and I thought that would be kind of fun for the videos. So I bought budget gear. And there's some pros and cons to budget gear, and I have to say the pros are it's more durable than ultralight gear, mostly speaking, and it's much less expensive than ultralight gear, but it's much heavier than ultralight gear, and it's much bulkier than ultralight gear. I could have done this trip with a pack less than half the size of what I've got with me tonight on ultralight gear. This is my full loadout, not base weight. This is food, water, everything. I'm at 36 pounds. It's still not bad at 36 pounds. When I was a teenager back in the 70s, I did twice that. And I mean, we didn't have water filters back then. We had like empty plastic gallon milk jugs full of water that we carried with us. It was heavy stuff. You know, the flannel and canvas sleeping bags, and it was very bulky too. It was a good time. But so anyway, I'm liking the gear so far. We'll see how it sleeps through the night. I've got a 20-degree bag, mummy bag. And I forgot what the R rating is on the sleeping pad. I want to say it's around a 4, but I could be wrong. That may be high on that. Anyway, we're going to be a little bit below, you know, a little below freezing. You know, I've got base layer and stuff like that to wear when I'm sleeping, the puffy, obviously, and all of that. So I'm not concerned. You know, even if I had to just sleep on the ground tonight, I've got enough clothing to make that. But it's going to be fun. All new gear at one time. I've never done that before. So let's see if dinner's ready. Oh, this is nice and warm. So dinner's almost ready. About another 4 minutes. Tastes delicious, by the way, when I lick the spoon. So I also want to talk about winter camping. I love being outside in the winter. In fact, it's my favorite season of the year. I'm a 3-season backpacker, and that would be fall, winter, spring. I rarely do it in the summertime because, especially here in the Midwest, it's so miserable to sleep out in the heat and humidity. It's impossible for me to sleep in those conditions anyway. So there are some advantages to this. No bugs, that's awesome. I sleep like a baby when the temperature's in the 30s, or colder. You know, I just sleep really well in those temperatures. There are disadvantages. Dark comes early. Right now we're probably 5 to 5:30. This is March 10th. Well, the sun's below the peaks, so I've got 20 minutes maybe of light, 30 minutes tops. And it's a great time to catch up on reading. I forgot to bring a book. So, and I can't have a fire, which is kind of nice in the wintertime as well. Although I rarely do make a fire, actually. But Yeah, it's going to be a long night in a small tent. Dinner time. Okay, well, it's just after 7 o'clock and there's absolutely nothing to do but go to sleep. So, good night. Good morning. It's coffee time. I brought dehydrated biscuits and gravy for breakfast, but I'm really not hungry. A couple of cups of coffee though before I get this morning started. So I had a great night's sleep. Plenty warm. Really happy with the new gear. Like I said, I knew going in it was going to be heavy. I knew it was going to be bulky. The bulkiness probably bothers me the most. Out of that, I'd like to have some smaller gear so I could bring some other stuff too, like a chair. This is convenient. This log is perfect, but if I didn't have this, I'd really be missing a chair or a sit pad or something like that. But it was a great night. Coyotes serenaded me through the middle of the night. I like that. They didn't get too close. They were on the other side of the stream. So I'm going to have coffee, break camp, filter some water out of that stream, and then back on the trail. See you later. It's a gear explosion. You can climb to the top. Not with these boots on, you can't though. Okay, so this is really challenging, not having a usable display. I don't ever know if I'm in frame. I guess I'll find out in editing. So you can't climb to the top of the Devil's Tollgate on the uphill side. You saw me take that path around, and it's probably top 15 feet is a vertical climb on lichen covered rock. Trail runners, it's not bad, but I have boots on today, and that's too sketchy. But once you're up there, it's kind of a neat view. You're on a high spot in the valley, close to the stream. I could see it from my campsite last night. That was kind of neat. So I'm slowing down a little bit, taking my time. I want to spend some more time out here. I'm not looking forward to getting back into the car. It's about a 2-hour drive home from here. So This is 2 hours from St. Louis, and you could do the hike I did and drive back in a day. It is a day hike for most people. The 13 miles of trail that I'm on right now between Tom Sauk and Johnson Shut-ins is generally considered to be the most rugged trail in the state of Missouri. I love it because I think that makes it more fun. It does make it slow, so prepare for that. There's a lot of water here. Every valley has a stream at the bottom. Where I camped last night was near the convergence of two streams, and where I just crossed that stream was just before the convergence of another stream. So it's a little bit smaller and easier. So I noticed when I was at camp last night, across the stream on the next hillside, what looks like a cave entrance. It looks like it would be big enough to where I could almost walk into it. Sounds like an excuse for another trip to me. So I just passed 3 young guys. They're on their way to Bell Mountain. They parked at Tom Sauk, did a shuttle. They're probably 3 miles into their hike, so they got an early start. And Josh's Shut-ins is the halfway point to Bell Mountain. I've got to say I'm a little jealous. So this is a really nice level campsite, close to the base of Mina Sauk Falls. Gorgeous view. Unfortunately, it is right on the trail. My camera is actually on the trail right now. Other than that, I pitched my door over here and I'll show you the view. So from this campsite we have this pretty valley with the stream at the bottom. We have this hillside covered in boulders, and it's not visible from here, but you can hear Mina Sauk Falls just around the bend. Okay, so this is the trail. It's tough without a pack on. This reminds me a lot of hiking in the Whites. Fortunately here, the vertical's not nearly as far. Okay, made it to the top of Mina Sauk. I'm thinking it's time for some breakfast now. But it'll just be some kind of a protein bar or something like that. I wanted to take a minute though and talk about my plans for the future with this channel. So my hope is to someday grow this channel to a size that provides some income, which would actually fund my retirement at that point and enable me to hike full time. You know, I'm sorry Jackie, my spouse. I will be home, but I will be gone sometimes for extended periods of time. Anyway, that's my hope. And if you enjoy this content, I'd really appreciate your help with that. So all you need to do is subscribe to my channel and like the videos. It's really that easy. The more likes and subscribes I get, then the closer I get to that goal. And if you really don't enjoy my videos, well, some helpful, constructive criticism would be appreciated. I'm always looking for a way to do this better, a new idea, something like that. So thanks a lot, I really appreciate your help. Time for a little snack, and then we'll carry on. So I was hoping to beat the rain, still a couple miles from the car, but it started to sprinkle already. That's how it goes. Cold and rain. That's my downfall every time. So we're back on the Mina Sauk Falls trail. It's a loop trail. This section of it is actually also part of the Ozark Trail. So from the trailhead, you hike out through a glady area to the waterfall. And then when we drop down to the bottom of the falls, we were actually on the Ozark Trail at that point. But then from the top of the falls back to the car on this loop is also the Ozark Trail. So I decided to take this way. It's not as scenic as the area with the glades, but it's different territory. And we followed the stream for quite a while, which is nice as well. Okay, so unfortunately my camera died about a mile from the car. The rest of the trail was pretty. It was raining pretty heavy, so I probably would have had to stow the camera anyway. But we followed the stream most of the way back, and we were close to the top of the mountain before the camera died. But at the moment, we're at the top of the lookout tower. It's just outside the park. You pass it on the way into the park. And it is cloudy, but we've still got a gorgeous view. Let me show you around. So here in the distance is the reservoir. Now I'll zoom out and give you a panorama. It's pretty out here. This is the fire tower from the ground. Doesn't look that tall from here. Okay, so that's the end of the hike. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.